What's going on? You're hanging out with PhiLL Kross, and we're doing it. The show goes on, TSGO, where we get the opportunity to connect with countless superstars in the entertainment industry and talk about how they're navigating COVID-19. Today we're kicking it with a longtime buddy of mine, Brian Chirlo. He's in the building. Brian Chirlo is a recording mix engineer. He's based out of New Jersey. Some of the projects he's worked on have gone to win 7 Grammy Awards and multiple #1s on Billboard. Some of the albums he's worked on are range from John Mayer, Amy Winehouse, Tony Bennett, and a ton more. Brian Chirlo, are you there, man?
What's going on, Phil?
Doing good. Well, listen, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate you doing your thing. It's a crazy time right now, so it's interesting to connect with entertainment professionals like yourself and get your thoughts and your perspective on COVID-19 and a little bit about what's happening now. So, question number 1, without further ado. Is COVID-19, 1, a natural phenomenon, a military bioweapon, 3, a conspiracy that was accidentally or purposely released by a secret society, or is it 4, the 5G network?
Definitely not the 5G network. I think it's 3 that turned into 1.
Either gets a conspiracy that was accidentally or purposely released and then became a natural phenomenon.
I think it got out by accident, and then it naturally progressed everywhere. But who knows? I mean, we're never going to have the real answer.
I'll tell you, that's the first time we've had somebody on the show that said 2, but I like that. Okay, cool. So question number 2. A lot of people in the music industry professionally rely on traveling, collaborating in person, and being in the room. How has this affected your workflow, and how are you overcoming COVID-19 professionally?
I mostly do mixing, and most of the time it's unattended. So, I do mixes and then I send them off. They send me back revisions, and then we usually do that. But I also have a lot of clients that like to be there at the end of it too, to do the final tweaks and everything in person. But it hasn't been so bad. I guess people are getting used to it, and it's not making it any more complicated. But like the recording stuff, obviously studios are closed and stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot of stuff now, working with like artists and producers and writers remotely. So the process is a little bit slower because not everybody's in the same room, and getting to the final product is a little bit harder on the production recording end. But other than that, it's all right.
So if somebody that you're working on a project with wants to connect with you and come and see you, are they coming into your studio to work?
There's this plugin called Audio Movers. We do like a Zoom call or something, and they can actually hear the audio right out of my interface. So where they would normally listen and check stuff anyway, they can hear it right out of my computer.
Cool. Well, that's great to hear that you're still moving. For anybody in the music industry, how can we help support them better?
Coordinate with producers to just get a bunch of records, and try to cut your own demos at home, and shop them that way. And like I mentioned before, you might want to change a word because it doesn't fit, and do this and that. And it's like, maybe if the songwriter is working with their client and they go back and forth that way, and the songwriter keeps cutting the demo to fix those problems, then it's easier for the artist to just jump back in the studio and recut the record. But not everyone can cut records at home. It really depends on how you're set up. I know a lot of the guys have been in it for a long time. The older guys that are in this for 20, 30 years, they might not necessarily have a setup at home, where they're so used to being in a studio every day. There was never a need for them to go out and buy their own setup.
If you don't have the capability to cut a vocal at your home to the capacity of somebody like a professional, do the best you can. And just keep banking songs, keep putting it down, getting ready. That way when this is over, you can rock and roll. What about people outside of the music industry? People that are home, that are scared, that are confused, that are frustrated. What's your advice for those guys?
Yeah, I mean, anything that makes you feel somewhat normal.
You're saying just go outside, go for a walk, get a breath of fresh air. Try to do something like that to keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time to come on. The show goes on. It's great catching up with you. Hopefully sooner than later, you and I can get back into the studio and making another record. And in the meantime, I look forward to hearing more about. I know you got a studio that you're building right now during COVID-19, so I look forward to hearing more about that studio, seeing pictures, and go follow my man Brian Chirlo. He's on Instagram. He's on all the social media everywhere at Brian Chirlo. Okay, BrianChirlo. Brian Chirlo. He's a dope guy. He's got some pretty cool stuff he's working on, and you'll be able to see all the evolution on his Instagram as well too, which is why I recommend you go there first. Dude, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your wisdom, your insight, and taking the time.
Anytime, man.